Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel and my Great Outdoors series. Now in this video we're doing something very similar to the last video. If you watched the last video, I made a large round tray. Now this is the mold from Molds and Shapes, measuring 25. Here is the last video, do you guys remember it? I did the mica chuck it all in technique with alcohol, and I said in that video, how stunning would it be with a Northern Lights sky? I also suggested you could put different colors in different sections of the tray, but in today's video I really want to focus on the Northern Lights aspect of it. I don't usually do the same exact video back to back. However, I was absolutely itching to give the Northern Lights side of the tray a real go. So we are seeing back-to-back identical videos, but just different colors, different, all of it. Well, not different, all of it, actually. Pretty identical, let's be honest. But yeah, it was the Northern Lights I wanted to try. Now, I have done a couple of Northern Lights videos. I wouldn't say I'm very good at them. There are multiple ways to do this, but we are using the mica chuck it in technique with alcohol. The resin I'm using is the stunning Apex, linked below for you guys, crystal clear. They ship worldwide, and I have mixed 1:1 by volume, and whilst that is on my Let's Resin mixing machine, I can then crack on with getting this mica laid down. Now the Northern Lights, oh my gosh, Aurora Borealis, obviously it shows up in multiple different forms, multiple different colorways, but I think most people around the globe would associate the Northern Lights with that kind of like luminescent green, I guess. So I am going for a lot of green, but I'm also throwing in some blue and some pink. Now, I have said many times before, and anyone here who does resin knows that resin does what it wants. And I had no idea, should I just dump the powder in? Should I lay it out in lines like I'm trying to do here? I have sped this section up slightly because it took time and I wasn't sure if I was putting too much powder in. And at this point, it was definitely giving chaotic storm. So again, wasn't sure how it was going to turn out. It was at this moment I realised I'd forgotten to lay down my stars. I wanted to lay down some stars and some glitter and some of that super sparkle white prior to adding the powder. But of course, I just got so carried away with laying the powder down, I completely forgot. So here we are. I've thrown down some of the stars. The stars are from Heyyyy. I am a Heyyyy affiliate. Again, all details in description box. And this is what we are looking like. Now, my theory was that because there is some linear to the mica, that, you know, once I spray it, it should hopefully stay in those patterns. But truth be told, you and I know we've got no way of knowing what way this is going to go at all. And it was just here that I threw in some blue because, again, the Northern Lights can throw out an entire range of colours, but for me, it's almost always green. The mica powders I'm using, like this one here, is from Estoyo. I've used a combination of Resin Pro micas, Estoyo, and Arteza micas. They're all fantastic. Resin Pro is probably up there as my favorite mica colors, but in the last video you would have seen me use more, I guess, spacey colors like dark purple, dark blue, and that kind of vibe. Very much my cup of tea. Again, just laying these down thinking I am going overboard on these mica. There is a lot of mica powder in here, and I could only just hope for the best that it would all come out okay. The background of this tray is going to be a dark blue. This is Starry Sky, and it was sent to me by Amanda Towgood at Resin Supplies Den. I made up quite a big cup of resin because I have got a couple of Summerween videos coming, and I did need some extra resin to top coat, so I made up a giant cup, and I've just poured some out into this cup to fill this tray up. Now, make sure your resin is absolutely totally mixed in with the mica, and before we pour this, we need to use alcohol. Guys, I know one or two of you have said lately how you tried this technique but forgot to put the alcohol in. Honestly, I think it's still going to come out stunning, but I have done that myself. So this is the alcohol I buy. It's the isopropyl alcohol, 99.9% from Amazon. I buy it in big bottles and it goes a long, long way. I then decant it into a small spray bottle. I buy my spray bottles as well from Amazon. So, I mean, I sprayed a lot of alcohol here. If you have never done this technique, you don't want to just pour the alcohol in. You really do want to spray, but spray a lot. You don't want the mica powder floating in alcohol. You want enough alcohol where you can visibly see all of those mica powders blending together, melding together, doing all of the things and fanning out and spreading out. That's how you know you're going to get a really cute mixture. But again, there's no real way of knowing what it does. Don't do this. It was almost pointless. I was very, very gentle. I didn't scratch the mold, but I thought if I drag through from top to bottom, then I might even encourage it to go out in that way. You know what I mean? I don't know what I'm trying to say. Guys, it's too hot here for a voiceover, truly. After I did that, I sprayed a little bit more alcohol prior to filling up the tray with that dark, dark blue. And this blue does have a hint of a sparkle in it as well. So again, whichever colorways you are trying, you go with what you're doing. Now, the least fun for me here was the vinyl weeding. Now, I actually really enjoyed the vinyl weeding in the last video. You guys remember, like, I couldn't believe how therapeutic I found it because I truly had to take my time. But I have broken my last remaining weeding tool, the needle-tipped weeding tool. I have been renovating my kitchen. If anyone is here that doesn't know, I have a second channel, At Home with Claire. I have just done a full kitchen makeover for around £80. I'm talking cupboards, worktop, the lot. And I used the weeding tool to pop air bubbles in the vinyl. And I didn't realise I'd bust it. I am so sorry I did not press record on demold, but I am going to show you a close-up of what this actually looks like. I demolded it. I showed the camera all of the close-ups and I hadn't pressed record and I am so sorry. But this is the weeding result. It's not a very good job. Like I said, I'd bust the tip of my needle point weeding pen and I lost a little bit of vinyl. But here we are. This is what it's looking like. I think dragging down definitely worked. I can see the drag marks, but right now it's giving electrical storm more than Northern Lights. I don't know. Let me know. Do you think it worked? Has it worked? I'm not sure. I think it's definitely, if you said to someone, what does this picture look like? I think most people would say a camper van with Northern Lights in the background. I would hope that's what they'd say, but I don't know. It's not necessarily as Northern Lighty as I was hoping it to be. Now, of course, you can mix up multiple different colours of pure resin. You don't have to use the mica chuck it in technique. But here is where I was just, I was lifting vinyl left, right and centre. I wonder if the heat has played a part in how poorly I weeded this vinyl and how hard it was laying it down and getting it off of the transfer tape. It felt like everything around me, including myself, was melting. But much like my kitchen worktop vinyl job, that video is coming this Sunday for At Home with Claire. Much like that, it looks okay from a distance. From a distance. Just don't get up too close and personal with this. And it's all right, you know. I used my scissors because all of my stabby tools are broken to just remove a couple of air bubbles. So even though I lined this one up pretty perfectly thanks to you guys and your tips, the air bubbles were real. So I did have a job on my hands. Let me know what you think. Is it screaming Northern Lights? Let me know in the comment section down below if you've seen the Northern Lights in person. I've only seen them very briefly here last year. Now, reflecting upon last video and reflecting upon this one, not sure about this one. I was toying with the idea of doing neon green background but then black vinyl equally because the floor was dark. Like the van itself and the ground was a dark resin. I knew that black vinyl would get lost, so I did end up going back to the white. Let me know your thoughts. I am still very much in love with the blue, purple, moody, black, deep, gorgeous sky on the left, and mean, the one on the right, it's not horrific. I think there was just no flow to the resin. I think if I were to try this again, I wouldn't use the mica technique. I'd actually just mix up 3 or 4 different colored resins, including maybe 2 different greens, a purple and a pink, and wait for the resin to thicken up and then pour the resin into the mold in a wavy motion and then heat it through so there is some kind of blend, not too stark in the way the lines are. I don't like lines in resin. We all know that if you've been with me a while. I like more of a blend. But yeah, let me know your thoughts, guys. Yes, I did need to top coat this. My plan is to use masking tape for the back, top coat the front and do a flood coat. But here is the thing. The UK has got a little bit hot, actually the whole of Europe. Us and mainland Europe, we are under a huge heat dome right now. And I mean, if you're watching from outside of Europe, then you may not understand that 99% of us do not have aircon. So I've not been able to get back into the craft room since finishing this and actually doing a top coat. Honestly, it's tragic. And no, I did not know this heat wave was coming last week. And if I had known, I would have gone in and done it quickly. But here we are. Let me know your thoughts. I hope you feel inspired, if in any way, to do a mica chuck it in technique. I will definitely revisit this. I'm not sure I'll use the same vinyl decal because boy oh boy, weeding that again, I don't think I could do it a third time. Let me know what you're thinking about these projects. Which one is your favorite? Have you ever seen the Northern Lights in person? And I will see you all in the next video. Bye.